All right, welcome to the Product Ladder Workshop. Today we're going to talk about how to package up your services to sell more of what you already do. So you already got clients, you're selling customers, you're getting business. How do we figure out how to either keep those clients by selling them other things, or maybe get them in the door, kind of move them up the ladder, potentially going down? So we're going to draw that. I'm going to teach the concept, and we'll actually pull folks on live, and we can help build your ladder here today as well. So it's gonna be fun. So first thing in the chat, I'd love to see where you're calling from. So I know a couple of faces, but a couple of new faces as well. So just put in the chat where you are dialing in from around the world. What city, country? We got Dallas, we got Sioux Falls, we got Mexico. See, it's global call, baby. Love it. Another Sioux Falls, a couple Sioux Falls, of course. That's my peeps. Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, the second thing that I always like to do anytime I do coaching calls is share wins of the week. And I usually do this based on sort of like the size of the call. So I think we could do this on microphone, which is my preferred route. So what I want you to do is I'll call your name. You can come off of mute and you can share your win of the week. So it's Thursday, professional win, personal win, whatever was something that was a win for you this week. One of the biggest pieces I try to do in my coaching is just do more cheerleading to make sure people feel like uh, they create that momentum in their life. And it starts with super simple wins. So, Ed, you were the first to join, calling in from Dallas. So let's go, Ed. And then I got
Sure.
Casey and I got Mark.
So I sold a new project. So I got a
There we
new
go.
piece. Yeah. So it's very exciting about that. Yeah.
That's awesome. So if you're willing to share, I also really love like sharing financial wins. What's like the revenue impact to your business on something like that?
So mine's probably going to be a little different. I'm mostly retired, so I do this just to
Yeah,
keep my mind active
love
and
it.
have some adult conversation with people. So I've been a supply chain guy for the last 27 years. I've been a consultant for a long, long time. So I take the occasional odd job. So this is just going to be one of these things. This will probably be a 6 week thing, 2 to 3 days a
Yeah,
week for 6 weeks. It'll be impactful
awesome.
for me because my revenue is zero. So it's got
Yeah,
so it's
there we go.
more than zero. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, consulting is going to be perfect for what we talk about today in the product
Good.
ladder. So that's helpful for me to understand. So congrats on a win. Like it.
Thank you.
Casey and then Mark.
Hello, everyone. You're talking to me 3 days before an event, so the which John is speaking at.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we're still moving forward is really kind of the win for me this week.
Yeah, this is like your all in week. This is your Super Bowl coming up. Yeah.
Exactly. This is a nice distraction from all of that. So that's my
Perfect. I
win.
love it. Cool. Well, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to Tuesday. It's gonna be fun. Mark.
Hey, yeah. Yesterday was a pretty cool day. One of my clients, I do fractional creative services and like fractional business development for boutique creative agencies. And so I kind
Interesting.
of offer a few different things, but essentially it's consulting with a team because I don't like being alone.
Yeah,
And so
I
one
like
of
that.
my clients back in Ohio, actually, through like an exercise that I've developed, found a new lead within 2 weeks, which is really fast in their industry, put together like, hey, we could use you. We have an idea. And then last night they had a shoot that was kind of like a late night shoot, which is odd for like the commercial production world. You just kind of usually fake darkness, but it's something really cool last night that like went a little squirrely, but felt very renewing for the team. So it was a financial win, a proof of the process, and kind of something different. So yeah.
Nice. I love it. Cool. Nice job. Tell me, I should put that too. Second thing in the chat, feel free to put your like a URL to your website or your business. If I don't know, I just recently met Ed on a call a few weeks ago, and of course I know Casey and her team at Maximizing Excellence. So drop those into everyone can do that. Let's go Sherry, and then I got John.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sherry. I'm located here in Sioux Falls as well. Um, And I have been, I guess, for a win this week. We've been going through a lot of changes in my company. I've been in business for just about 16 years, and
Wow.
um, we're just trying to figure out what our sweet spot is, what is going to help us stand out from a lot of other marketing agencies in the area and in the country. And so I've been just working on figuring out what that was, and I thought it was interesting that John reached out to me talking about our brand authenticity um, messaging, and that's really what I want to move forward with. And so, a success or a win for us is that I've kind of got a plan and a direction um, in place to start sharing more content on brand authenticity and helping customers figure out their story. So.
Awesome. And we're going to have like there's a rung on the product ladder for exactly that type stuff. So it's going to be a well situated today. So, all right, John, you take us home. What's your win today?
Yeah, hopefully my audio works. I had to just reboot my computer. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sound good.
Okay, good. So number one, my daughter drove to school for the first time today. She's 14. So if you're in South Dakota, you understand that.
Totally.
Anxiety slash freedom.
We started pretty early. Yeah.
Yeah. But work has been going great. Actually, I'm introduced to you, John, from a prospect who was referred to me from one of my clients here locally, and your name came up and just in a conversation yesterday. And then you
Funny.
actually happened to reach back out to my LinkedIn message. So small world, must be running in some of the same circles. But so that's nice always to be referred to clients, but also to connect with you.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to use my win as a segue to also loop her in because I think it's pretty relevant to some of the conversation. So, um, in my coaching business, I'm always I'm an open book. I'll be that way here today too. Very transparent. You can ask me any questions you want. Um, and so I often try to practice what I preach, right? Like whatever I'm coaching are things that I have tried and tested. And so many of you might be on this call today. I think a couple of you even referenced it because of LinkedIn outreach. So one of the things that I'm trying right now is delegating. I do a lot of coaching around buying back your time and delegating things. So Dunya on the call here is my win. Dunya just started on yesterday. Honestly, yesterday. This is day 2 for her. Dunya is in Ethiopia and is joining the Lead More team, helping do cold outreach because I think that's something when we talk about building the product ladder, growing. I think of every business as like 3 legs, especially a lot of us work in services. So you have marketing, sales, and delivery. So marketing, how many people know who we are? Sales, how many of those people can we then get into our orbit and like sell them a product off of the ladder that we're going to talk about today? And then delivery is how fast can we do the thing we said that we would do? Like how efficiently, not necessarily how fast, but on time, on budget, can we deliver the thing? And my hope for you is to I intentionally want to break each piece of that circle. So we're going to break marketing because so many people know about us. So that then we're going to break sales because we can't even close all the deals because we have all these people filling out our form. And then when we close sales, we're going to break delivery because we got to do all the work that we sold, right? Is that idea. And the faster you can spin that flywheel and move it around quicker, the better. So for me, I feel like I'm really good at sales. I feel like I'm really good at delivery. I need to get more leads. And so Dunya on the call today, day 2, you might have got a LinkedIn message from Dunya yesterday. And so it's already working. So welcome, Dunya. You can introduce yourself as well too.
Hi everyone, my name is Dunya. I am born and raised in Ethiopia. So I started with John yesterday and I'm pretty excited to see how this goes.
So yeah, I told her the best way to onboard is to just like sidecar and learn. So Dunya's here today and she's learning and thanks for coming. All right, so good wins all around. Good people, good group of people here today. We're going to jump right in. I'm going to share my iPad here quick. So give me 1 second. I joke. I see Mark. You got the brown sweatshirt on. So NFL here today. joke sometimes that I'm like the John Madden of business. So like I just draw pictures is how I like to coach. So that reference should hold for everybody in the room. Maybe not Dunya, but in terms of age and NFL. So we're gonna draw today, and that's how I like. I owned a graphic design agency for a decade, and always had a lot of imposter syndrome around the fact that here I own this design agency working with the biggest brands around the world, and I don't even know how to use Photoshop. So like I had a lot of like imposter syndrome around that. But to the spirit of building a business, right? Like that's why you have people who do different things. My business partner Amy was the creative talent, and I sort of did everything else. And I can draw. I feel like I have an eye for design, so I like to draw, but just don't judge my handwriting. So if you have a pen or paper, grab that. We're going to I'm going to first teach the product ladder, and then we're going to build yours together here today. So the first concept of the product ladder, the y-axis going up and down, is that at the top, we charge more money. So that's $3 signs. We're using like the Yelp food scale here. $3 signs at the top, down at the bottom, we'll call it $1 sign. And essentially the idea here is that there are 4 ways to sell services. And I'm going to also pull up here. Whoops, someone's in the chat room. Let me get them in here. Awesome, there's Kim. Didn't have that. So I'm going to have the chat ready here too. If you have any questions, drop them in, comments. Kim, welcome. Sorry I didn't see you stuck in the chat there. We're just getting started.
Sorry about
building
being
up.
late.
No, you're fine. You're good. You're good. Any wins of the week? We did that first. Do you have a win? Put you on the spot.
I showed up here even though my client was late.
Hey, there we go. There we
Yes.
go. You're the win. Welcome. All right, so we're building the product ladder. The first thing you got to know from top to bottom, it's the most expensive to least. So let's move up the ladder. The first thing we can sell is a DIY service. And so this is going to be, among other things, let's call it a course. Let's call it like a downloadable thing. Download. Let's call it swipe files. It might be templates. A really good example of this, because I know your business a little bit, Casey, you guys did like the state of philanthropy report. So it could be often this thing might be free or like sub hundreds of dollars, right? $299 and underneath, maybe. It's not a hard and fast rule, but like something easy, affordable. It might be a type of deal where the value of the lead is more valuable than selling the thing for $50, right? So for me, I used to have, now I give it away for free. I have a virtual assistant course, right? And that's how I met Ed, was like how to hire a VA. So not only is Dunya on the call here, but Joanne is on the call, my virtual assistant from the Philippines. She's worked with me for almost 2 years. She's in my inbox. She schedules my meetings. She replies to emails. I'm a big believer in having a virtual assistant to scale yourself. And so I have a course because most of the entrepreneurs I coach could use a VA. So that's my DIY. It's free. You can download it. It's about a couple hours of content. You just watch it. So this is how do we, at the end of the day, everybody on this call, all of our businesses work by who do you know, like, and trust. And people aren't going to hire you if they don't know you. Then we got to move them to liking you and then ultimately trusting you. And this DIY product is how we can get them to build trust, right? You get them on your email list, show them that you got your chops. This could be like, a checklist is a really good one. I should put that one down. I'm not exactly sure of your business, Mark, but like if it's like a creative thing, like, or Sherry for branding, like, do you, like, yes and no, do you have these elements in your brand? Yeah, no. If you have more than 5 no's, reach out to me, right? And most people who are going to reach out probably have 5 no's. All right, now we're going to move up the ladder to DWY, and that means done with you. So that's what we're doing right now. This is like workshops. This is coaching. This is consulting. This is other side. Consulting. Some people do even, it's a little bit more done for you, like a VIP day, depending on your service. But basically the idea of a done with you is like, we're meeting in the middle, right? So I coach group like this, and I coach one-on-one. On a one-on-one client, we jump on a Zoom call for 90 minutes. I'm here, I'm present, I'm drawing, I'm asking questions. We're thinking through strategy. We're looking at their scorecard. But after that call is done, they have to go back and actually build their business, right? I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it with them, and then they have to go and take the baton from there. And so it's really like a meet in the middle type of service, very valuable. You can make a great business on this, but probably the upper end on the terms of how much you can charge is limited because sometimes we pay for things just because we want someone else to do it, right? I mean, think about why you hire an accountant or why you might have a cleaner or why you might go to a restaurant, right? I don't want to cook, so I'm going to pay someone to cook for me, right? So that's the difference between done with you up to the next one, which is DFY. And of course, that means for you. So done for you, or I'm paying you and you do the thing for me. So now let's think about, we have on the call, we have design, we have, someone like, I don't know, what's the right word, Casey? I think of like management, nonprofit management, I guess we'll use it in the SME example. Sherry, we have like, you might, build, well, we just did design. I don't still learn what you do, Ed and John, but like Kim does social media, right? She can teach you how to do it, or I'm guessing she can do it for you, right? And so you're charging here. The big thing I want you to do, and you're done for you, or I'm going to push you to consider, is to productize your service. And so what I mean by that is like make this thing very, very repeatable. And so I call this in my No More Solo course, the plan. And I can still give it to you, the Lemonly example. I haven't sold an infographic in 4.5 years, but we would say, all right, we make infographics at Lemonly. They're $5,000. They take 4 weeks. There are 3 phases: copywriting, wireframe, and design. You get 2 rounds of edits and we deliver 1 JPEG, right? I mean, it wasn't that abrupt or that aggressive, but essentially 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can say it easy. I still remember it. I can sell it to you quickly. You can go back and understand it. If you're going to have to go sell it to your boss on your behalf, on my behalf, you can remember that, right? There's 1 slide on our pitch deck or sales deck that explains that. It's dialed in. Now, every infographic started from 0. We had like a blank white Illustrator canvas, but the process was very productized, right? The guardrails were really clearly defined. And I'll explain on the next piece of the ladder why this matters, because the last piece of the ladder for us in services businesses is custom. And I'm not even going to give examples here because, I mean, I guess I will. If this would be like RFPs, when you're making like a very specific proposal, when there are, let's call them add-ons, when you have to, maybe scale or increase the size, like Kim does social media for business, and all of a sudden they're like, we have 50 locations globally. Well, I'm guessing like the typical custom proposal or the typical proposal or service you deliver would kind of break under a proposal like that. You got to rethink it. And if there's anything that you learned today on this call, the biggest warning I'm here to give you today is stop doing custom work at a done for you price. I can just sit there and end the call right now because that's the most important thing you need to know is that when something goes outside of the guardrails, let's call it a left turn, or you're no longer on the highway, we're going down the dirt road, like that becomes a custom price, right? And sure, there can be levels between DFL, done for you, and custom. It doesn't mean it's immediately 10x. I can't tell you what the sweet spot number is, but at the done for you thing, if you want that 5K infographic, you're doing it on our terms, right? There's going to be 4 weeks. It's going to be 3 phases. It's going to be 2 rounds of edits. You all of a sudden want 4 rounds of edits because you are a pharma company who needs legal to come in at the 11th hour and change everything. No past scars there from that example. Well, you can have that, but you're going to pay for it, right? And so this is the key here is how do you define the difference between a custom and a done for you? I'll give you a good example. So right now in my business at Leadmore, I operate a lot down here, right? I have like free downloadable things. You can watch my YouTube video. You can join a free workshop. That's a done DIY thing. A workshop is starting to kind of blend up to a done with you, but it's free. You're here today. And so a lot of my coaching is like, I help you and then you go do. But in my old days at Lemonly, we worked up here. So a good example is like average client comes in and does say the 5K infographic. But I still remember the day that Marriott called us and said, what if we did 80 infographics? I quickly do the math in my head, and all of a sudden I'm like, this is going to be, I think it ended up being like an $800,000 proposal, right? Like I had to spend some time customizing that proposal. It was a different thing. We had to put one specific project manager on that account because it was just that big to our business. So it's very customized. It's going to break your typical like workflow. And so that's the difference between a done for you and a custom. So here's why I teach. The magic of the product ladder comes in here now, where you start to think about where do people typically come into your business. So I'm going to pause there. I want you, everybody in the chat, to put one of these four. Would you, as you think about your business, we all probably have like an 80-20, maybe it's a 70-30. Are most of your clients today custom, DFY, DWY? You're probably not building a business just on DIY, but if you are, you probably more like have a huge audience. Like think of like a YouTuber or like an influencer type of thing. But so I'd love to see in the chat what most of your projects look like now, having explained these four kind of levels of the ladder to you. So Ed's saying done with you. John is done for you. Okay, perfect. Sherry, most are custom and done for you. That makes sense for branding. Mark, 100% done for you. That also pitch in. Okay, perfect. And Casey, custom. Yeah, that makes sense for you guys too, probably. So the beauty here, so think about which one you just answered. The opportunity for the product ladder is, let's choose one. So Sherry, for her, if most of them are customer done for you, the issue probably because how do we get more clients, right? And so maybe we need to add something on the bottom half of our ladder that's going to pull people up, right? Oh, you're not ready to do a rebrand yet? Maybe let's start with a like a branding audit workshop, or we're going to do here's a good example. Mark's a creative as well. So we did, one of my coaching clients in North Dakota was selling like a 15K rebrand. Well, the problem is for the creatives in the call, clients will say, well, no, I just need a logo, right? I kind of need a rebrand. I just need a logo. It's like, well, there's a lot into that more than a logo. But people didn't know that. So what we did is we packaged up a 10-day brand blueprint process, and we packaged that up for $1,500. And so essentially what we did is we chopped off a piece of the done for you and moved it down here to done with you. It was $1,500. We could deliver it quickly, 10 days. And then here's the magic. If you like what you saw, when you at the very end, you get some like some loose, like, we'll call it like a mood board, no design yet. If you like what you see, you can upgrade to the 15K rebrand. And guess what? You've already paid the first $1,500. So the remaining balance is like, $13,500. Because the branding company already needed to do that $1,500 piece, like as part of their process anyway. It was like the research part. And we just pulled it out and sold it by itself. So that's an example of building a product ladder to move people up the ladder. Or we can go the other way. So let me pick, I'm still kind of learning everyone's business, but like, John, tell me, what do you guys do again? So yours is done for you as a primary. You're on mute too. That's okay.
Yeah, so glad we're meeting. I'm also in remote staffing. So we have
Okay.
offices in 20 countries.
Okay, perfect. So awesome example. So it's kind of like a talent acquisition, like finder's fee type of thing.
So actually we're the employer of record, so it's just a flat rate service fee.
Okay. So you hire the people pay you for those people. Okay, perfect.
Yep. And we stay involved. Yep.
Yep. Awesome. So probably something similar, right? Where you're adding like a done with you, like how to best work with a remote employee, a course, something like that. I want to think of one going the other way. So like I'll use me as an example. Most of my business, like I said, is down here in the done with you. And for my one-on-one, like we're coaching every month. They have me on kind of on call on Voxer for back and forth walkie-talkie access. Well, guess what? Maybe they need a little bit more support, and I could staff them with the virtual assistant, or we could start doing sales outreach for them, because now we have this other like LinkedIn outreach side of our business thanks to Dunya, right? Like there are other things that, how could I help my entrepreneurs get stuff done? Because frankly, sometimes we do our monthly call and then 30 days later, they still didn't do what they said they were going to do, right? And so I need to help sort of dial up that accountability, or screw it, I'll just do it for you and it's going to cost you, right? Another good example of this, like I had a company reach out to me and said, we want you to work with about a 50-person company, our 15 kind of youngest Gen Z employees, and develop like a leadership training program for them. Certainly not my core offering, definitely a custom thing in terms of even just the request was very different and unique. So immediately my brain's like, okay, this is a different thing. It's a different price. The other thing, of course, is you have to answer the questions like, do you want to do that work? Right? Like when you build out your ladder, one of my hopes for you is that it also, you can sell things quicker, like close deals quicker because you have your ladder pre-built. But it also helps you decide if it's not on your ladder, or I like to use the word, if it's not on the menu, do you want to sell it? Like, what is it called? Everybody in the Southwest, animal style, right? Is that In-N-Out burger? Like you got to ask for the animal style French fries. It's like off menu. You can know about it, but you got to ask for it, right? So like you got to decide if you want to sell the animal style French fries or not. So, all right, let's pause there. Let's start with questions, and then I want to actually build somebody's ladder out. And one key thing I should say, don't feel like you need every level of the ladder. I more so just want to explain how they work together. I think 3 out of 4 is probably pretty good. I would say currently Leadmore definitely rocks down here in the DIY. I'd say maybe 80% of my revenue comes in this done with you. I don't really have a done for you service that I'm kind of considering. And I've had a couple of these that would probably be the remaining 20%, more of these custom kind of like very unique proposal coaching kind of training type of things. So the point there is you don't have to have all 4, but understanding what you do have, and is there one that you need to add that will actually help, like sometimes your DIY might be a lost leader, right? You don't even make money on it, but it's going to drive money up the ladder. That's more important. So let's pause there. Questions, you can put them in the chat, or you can just come off of mute and ask any questions on the product ladder. I'm going to pick on Kim since you said custom, but really should be done for you. I'm curious why you feel that way.
Because we customize every single person that comes on.
There you
and
go.
and they're not at the price points that, I mean, at $500 to $1,000 for a month of management, they probably should be in the DFY, not the
Yeah.
customized.
So you are the key, the takeaway of this workshop of like doing custom work at a done for you price. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. And so here's the beauty of the ladder, right? It's like, okay, you only have $1,000. Awesome. We love to work with clients like that, and we can definitely help you. Here's how it's going to go, right? And like you're driving the bus, not them, right? Like
Right.
you're working together, but you are doing something for them on your terms. And all of a sudden they're like, no, I need this. I need same day turnaround. I need approval from blah, blah, blah. I need this. I also need you to do TikTok. And like, okay, fine. Let me send you a new proposal because that's not what I offered the first time.
Right. Yeah.
And how does those, I'm sure this isn't like this wasn't like today you figured that out. I'm sure you already knew this. So how have those conversations gone?
Well, they haven't, because I didn't to be really honest, I didn't understand the difference between the
Okay.
custom and the done for you. I just assumed, since I was a service provider, I
Sure.
customize all the packages, but we can't scale, and I feel like we're spinning our wheels a lot. We're not advancing because when you customize a $350 project, then you're not going to grow very fast.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. So you got it. And I think sometimes that's the most valuable part of this exercise, is just seeing it laid out that way and realizing, oh, okay, that's a different package. Like,
yes.
As soon as think about the what ifs, like, what if I could do, or can I get, or what if, as soon as those words are said, you don't even need them to finish the sentence. You're already moving into like a custom package, right? You're moving away from, and the challenge I would give you is like, can you explain your done for you option, your social media 1K? Can you explain it in like 20 seconds, one slide, right? Like it should be pretty buttoned up and
right.
easy.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. Perfect. Awesome. So, the other powerful thing that building out your ladder does, it's that psychology of price anchoring. And so they're like, no, 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 I want ABC, I want these bells and whistles. And you're like, okay, great. I need to build you a proposal. Typically these fall at about, 2K to 3K a month. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's just go with the 1K package, right? So now like they're back, like even if you aren't selling it, they've now understood the value of your 1K package and are willing to pay that without having all their extra requests, right?
Right.
So it's called like price anchoring. It's your classic like, silver, gold, platinum type of thing. And you say like, this is our most popular plan. And it includes these 5 things. And now all of a sudden what they're asking for is this and this. Well, those aren't on the plan, right? Those are over here in this plan, which is 3K versus our 1K. This is our 500 type of thing. So you can see how like your product ladder becomes like a pricing page or a menu,
Right.
or for everybody on this call, I shouldn't have even done it. We don't say price, we say investment. So awesome. Good. Thanks for letting me pick on you. Any other follow-ups on that? Anyone else question on your product ladder? Or else we can, if you want to, you can raise your hand and we will build out your product ladder. Oh, someone else is joining here. Let me get them in.
So John, I have a question for you. Is there a threshold where you decide we do a lot of added value things for our clients that are kind of just part of our differentiator versus, okay, I should be charging for these things? And how do you decide when you get to that point?
Yeah, great one. So I do love add-ons, and you can decide, like, we'll see if this resonates to what you said when you talk about added value. But like in our done for you, so let's label that done for you. We had that 5K infographic, right? And it was really dialed in, 4 weeks, 3 phases, 2 rounds of edits, 1 JPEG. But as soon as that slide was done in the proposal, there was also, I think we called them upgrades. I like that better than add-ons. We can turn that PowerPoint, that JPEG into like a PowerPoint deck. We can turn it, we will cut it up into what we call micro content, which is smaller stuff that you can then go put on social media to kind of like bring people back. We sometimes, for a few clients, did like literally like a poster version of their infographic. Gosh, what else? We could animate it. And so these, I would say, what they did is it changed our average sort of checkout value, to use like Amazon language, from like 5K to maybe about 7. But I would still consider that like in the done for you bucket, because it was pretty like those were still pretty fixed. Like there wasn't a lot of extra added like wrinkles there. Now for what this might be where you were headed up here to get to our pricing example. What's up, Emily? Good to see you. Anytime you're doing anything in your service, even if you're considering it like bonus or added value, or like we'll throw in, or just make sure you're doing like it's listed, right? Like what I hate to see on some of my clients is they say, yeah, we build websites, and it says, the proposal says 20K website. It's like, well, what else is in there, right? Like you're probably doing like QA, you're doing testing, you're doing like mobile development, you're writing copy, you're doing like, if you're doing something, even if you think of it as sort of like added value or added on, mention that you're doing it, right? List it out like in the proposal and in the scope. One last thing I'll say on that, John, is we tend to often as service providers, especially if like we get someone on the hook who's like really interested and it feels like a great lead, and then they're a little bit sticker shock, or that's not my budget. The first thing that we tend to think of is like discounts. Okay, well, if you sign on today, we can give you a discount, or we can do this. What I would encourage you to consider is upgrades or add-ons. So I'll tell you what, like you're not ready to go to custom to that 3K a month social media management, and you're not sure yet if 1K is enough for you. Why don't you start there at 1K? This month, I'll also do insert analytics debrief or onboarding call or like you and your virtual assistant and I will join and walk you through how to do a daily stand-up, and typically that's a $500 value. We'll put it in there, like give it a name. Like assign a value to it and you can add it as an upgrade, right? So I love that approach where it feels like they're getting more for the same price, but we aren't immediately just like sabotaging our profit by doing discounts. We always like rush to do discounts when we should do upgrades. It's a good question.
Very good. Thank you.
So let's see, Emily and who else I see join? Maybe he already left. Was it Mark? If he's in here still. Different Mark. We were just building out the product ladder. And it's like the 4 services that the 4 levels of your service ladder as a person who sells services. So to recap quick, and then we'll build some. We have DIY. So that's like your downloadable template guide worksheet. Done with you. We meet together. That's consulting. That's coaching. Things like that. Done for you. Many folks on the call, like they're designing, social media management, branding, and then that more of a custom. And the key thing, the takeaway of today's call is to stop offering custom work at a done for you price. So as soon as your customer starts asking for things that don't fit the box, make sure you're charging for it. All right, raise your hand on Zoom, or if you want to come on live, we'll build out your product ladder. If somebody wants to be brave, we'll do it right now.
You can do mine.
Free coaching. Let's do it.
Yeah, you can do mine.
All right, Sherry, give us the
before you
basic
started.
pitch on the business. So Crave Branding does what?
So we are brand developers, storytellers, and marketers. So we start out with a brand foundation and help clients discover who they are through their story, and then we help them build their brand.
Okay. You said that most of the clients are custom or done for you, right?
Yep.
Let's start with done for you. What would be like your typical 80-20 package, like in terms of like what's the 80 that people most often do?
Sure. So with this, typically they want us to do their logo. So I guess with the brand part, and maybe it gets more custom down the road because we have really 4 levels with our system.
Okay.
So we start with a brand foundation, then we go into the digital foundation, which is building them out online.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go into websites and hosting, and then we go into marketing. So the ongoing marketing, that would be the retainer things after
Yep.
all of the foundational pieces are built.
Cool.
So
and you typically have to buy, for the sake of, like I said, I like to simplify things with visuals. Do I have to buy all of them, or do I get can I do one piece at a time?
you can do one piece at a time. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we
Okay.
typically start with the branding though, because I feel
Okay.
like we have to have that first. And then we do have established packages for branding.
Awesome.
But what usually happens is people say, oh, I need this and this, but I don't need this out of that. So then we end up
Sure.
modify our established packages. How do we determine what is important to have in those things? And I don't want them to modify the packages.
Yeah. I would tend to say, like, without being a jerk about it, like, essentially, I don't care if you don't want that, right? It's like, it's what's included, right? Like, you don't go buy it. You don't go buy a car and then be like, I don't need the back left wheel. I just need the other 3, right? Like,
right.
So I think you either make the pitch in terms of why they might,
Mm-hmm.
or you just say like, well, it's all included. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean you're lowering the price, right? Like,
Right.
guess what? Like, it's actually all in the package. So,
Yeah.
we'll build it for you. And maybe a couple months down the road, you'll decide you do need it.
Right. Yep. And that's good. And that's typically how we end up. Yeah. Typically what we end up doing, where it varies a little bit, is number of people on their team, because we do a collateral piece to the packages as well, where we'll do
Sure.
business cards and email signatures and things like that.
Yeah.
And so that's where it typically varies a bit. And then we just have a set price on what additional people are. So
Yep. So it almost is like every one of these boxes is a done for you with the opportunity to sort of become custom
Yeah, yeah,
depending on what they ask for, right?
exactly. The second one is not really, that one's pretty much set in stone. But
Okay.
then when you get into the website, that one is
It can go a lot of
customizable.
directions. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for marketing, that one can also go into a lot of different directions.
Yep. Yep. And marketing, this is an example to build out if you don't have a done with you,
Mhm.
I think you could almost argue that some of these can go the other way. So what I mean by that is like, oh, you have a staff member who does your social media or who does your paid ads. Like, how about we do a monthly audit call where we'll bring in the analytics because we built your website, and
Yeah.
we'll show you like some insights of what we learned. Like, hey, a lot of people are coming to this page, or a lot of people are searching this term and finding you, or and it's like a $200 a month 1 hour call or something like that. Like,
Right,
it's not
right.
gonna it's not gonna be a huge money maker for you, but it keeps them
Yeah,
in your ecosystem as a
right,
client. And so
right.
that every month after you have them here on these little boxes, and then when they're ready to do something new, you bring them back around type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we do offer some of those things up front to get them started with social
Sure.
media and some of those things as well, right away in the brand package, in the brand foundation,
Yep. Cool. Love
because
it.
we want to make sure that they're set up and ready to go. And then, yeah, obviously, then they can hire us to do those things for them, or they can do it themselves for a while. And then when they get really busy or are ready, then they can come back and have us help them.
Yep. Absolutely. Another really good, easy done with you example. I mean, this is really almost sales, but you could put it on your kind of product ladder. Is like I have a Calendly link, and I just call it like a momentum call. And you could just join for 30 minutes and get on my calendar. And essentially, like, I'm going to try to help create some sort of momentum in your life or your business in 30 minutes. Right. And like, if you're in my coaching programs, you'll learn it's a sales call, but it's not called a sales call. Right. It's like
Right.
for 80% of the time, I'm going to give you value. And the last 20, I'm going to ask you if you think that I can help you. Like, is there a fit to move forward?
Right.
That's also a really good, like, it's almost a product. Think of it as a product because you're trying to add value, but it's really part of your sales process.
Okay. And so do you charge for that then, or do you?
That is completely free. Like, Joanne, you can put the link in there. But it's not like it's not hard to find. Like, it's in a lot of my marketing, email marketing.
Yeah, no, I meant do
But I
you
would
charge
try, no, but I would try
client?
to, I would, if they were a current client, yes, I would either charge for it or state that it's worth X. But because they are a custom client or they're on the 3 box package where they chose all 3 of these, like, we include that for 6 months or whatever it might be. So I'm trying to name that it is valuable, but you have it as a kind of a ace in your pocket, whether you want to charge for it or include it.
Sure. Okay.
That's a great example, like John's question of like added services. It's like, hey, because you bought the whole bundle, let's choose a new color. Because you bought all 4 of these in our done for you, brand, super brand build out process, whatever name you want to give it.
Mhm.
We will do for 6 months, we'll do this like analytics audit call included in your package type of thing. That's typically something we charge $300 for per call.
Sure.
And so now it's like, oh, I'm getting more, getting
Yeah.
bonus. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do you have from anything right now from a DIY? Like, get me your email, like jump into my ecosystem.
Yeah, I have been building out some things like a blueprint
Yep.
for brand building, where they can start doing their own thing. Um, and then so with that, I'm using it as like it's a guide, but there's a lot more complexity to building a brand than just designing a logo and
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
that part of it. And so the idea is that this will lead them into wanting to have a call with us to, you know, help with it, guide, do kind of coaching, strategy session, that kind of thing with them.
Yep. I love like the checklist thing. I have a client who's like a fractional CFO, right? And it's like you maybe have a bookkeeper, maybe you have a CPA, but you haven't quite gone past the CPA. You give them this checklist. It's like, yes or no, do you have, and there's like a list of 15 things. You start to check them off. Do you have them? Yes or no? Then you realize, shoot, I don't have a lot of these things. Like maybe I should. My all-time favorite version of this, I think it's still out there on the internet. HubSpot had this thing called a website grader. Awesome technology build out. You just dropped a URL in it. You clicked submit. You had to give your email address, of course. And they said, put your email in. We'll send you the report card for your website. And guess what? Like nobody has an A+ website because you could make your meta tags better. It's not mobile optimized. Like the accessibility, the colors are hard, whatever it might be. Good to see you, Casey. No problem. And so like just an awesome way to pick up leads that way. That's a little bit more of a technical build out, but the other one I love, I put it in purple down here, is just like content, right? As a coach, Joanne, you can put the YouTube link in there, but I'll just say like, hey, 80% of what I coach is for free on YouTube, right? Like you could just go subscribe and I'll teach it to you for free. Now, I don't worry about someone saying, okay, I don't need you. I'll just go watch your YouTube, because I know they're not going to do all the other stuff like the accountability and the measurement, and like they need the cheerleading and they need the customization of that same content. But anytime I finish one of these calls, I can be like, oh, if you want the video on the product ladder, because either you missed it or you came late or you just want more info, I'll send it to you, right? And so like teaching, I think, is a really good example of that too.
Perfect. Love that.
Any other questions on that?
No, I think that was good. Yeah, I've just been trying to build some of these things out and make these things make sense. And I think that's good.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for giving up for share everybody and lead more. We do the magic fingers. So it's like the awkward, here's how we, yep. Good work. Awesome.
Thanks
for sharing. So here's what I like to do as we come to the last 10 minutes. I always like to do, what was your most useful takeaway? So just like we started by sharing wins, if you want to come off mute, I would love to hear the most useful takeaway. And this was more me talking than a typical coaching session. But one of my favorite things about this question is sometimes the most useful thing was what someone else said, or a question somebody else asked. So let's see, I'm going to go in reverse order. So I got Emily and then Ed and then Kim. So I know you came in late, but I'm still glad you joined. What was your most useful takeaway, Emily?
Yeah, I have to say, like, I pound my head against the wall with pricing. It's probably one of my biggest headaches in business. And how to manage through those wonderful conversations. So I love the tiers that you broke out, the DIY, done for you, done with you, and custom. I think that really helps navigate those conversations more fluently. So I appreciate it. Thank you for that.
Right.
Oh, and my other takeaway, you have a really cool virtual notebook. So I want more information about that too.
Oh yeah, I can show you how to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
My tip on pricing is when you say it, or investment, as we talked about earlier.
Investment,
Do you lean in or do you lean out when you say your number? Make sure you lean in.
Yeah, good call.
Just like it's like a body language thing. It's like, it's $1,000.
Yeah.
Versus like the investment is $1,000.
Right.
You know, like which one do you feel excited about buying? You know, subtle,
Big
but
difference.
it makes a difference. Yeah. Ed, biggest takeaway.
Well, I thought I had my answer until you just said what you just said. I think that's really, seriously, I'd never heard that before, but that is really cool. But I mean, just the visual of the different levels on there. That's what I'm struggling with, because everything I do now is consulting. Right, I'll go help a company for 6, 8, 10 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to create a course that would be a kind of a do-it-yourself thing, and
Yes.
how to get that going, and so I really need to think through how do I kind of get more, because everybody that I get now, it's all word of mouth, right? It's not like I'm out there pounding the pavement, doing outreach calls or trying to do marketing. People will contact me and say, hey, so-and-so said I should talk to you about X, which is great, but it just kind of comes when it comes. It's nice to be wanted, but it's there's long gaps of inactivity. So I'm trying to fill that with, hey, here's a course you can take and learn how to do X, Y, or Z, and then
Yeah.
try to get some interest in other things that I can offer.
I mean, consulting, awesome job, awesome business, but it's just like it can be very like vague and sticky if we don't build out our ladder, right?
Exactly.
And so then you just end up selling your time for an hourly rate.
That's what
right?
it is. It's just time for money. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm totally fine with you having like a rate in your head of what you think it should be.
Yeah.
But like I would prefer you say it's a 10K package versus
Yeah.
10K
Right.
divided
That's
by
a great
250,
point.
right?
You need to get off the hourly rate thing and just kind of convert it. And look, to your point, I may have X number of dollars an hour, but I need to know, hey, this is a 100-hour thing. So if I just multiply that by the hourly rate, it's this
Yeah.
many thousands of dollars instead of, oh, it's going to be $250 an hour. Yeah.
Yep. And all of a sudden they're like, oh shoot, I don't have 10, I have more like 6. Okay, well I'll adjust that package
Yeah.
versus
Right.
just like
Right.
turn the hours down, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
cool, awesome. Kim and then John.
My biggest takeaway was to stop doing custom work for the done for you product. And then using the word upgrades, I really like that.
Cool.
And then you probably didn't know, but I do have all the letters of services that you talk about, but very few people know that we have all of them. So it's a marketing
Yeah.
challenge. for
Yeah,
me.
sure. Yep. Yeah, that's back to that flywheel, right? That's my issue too, is like and I think where the menu or the ladder or the menu, to use those words interchangeably, forces us to put our services into the ladder. If like it doesn't fit there, like should you be offering it, right? Like it's
Right.
like because if
Yeah.
a confused buyer never buys, like you can write that down. Anytime you give too many choices, that's a
Mm.
chance to lose a lead, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, great. We do social media this way or this way, or some clients do it this way. For some, I even come to their office and I just sit there for a half day and like I'm just like,
Right.
oh gosh, okay. Let me
Well,
go back
yeah.
and talk to my boss, which really is code for like, I don't know, so I'm not gonna buy.
Right. And we do have the different lead magnets, and I have a Get It Done marketing club for the people that can't afford our full service. So we've got it, but
Perfect.
we don't necessarily market it well so people understand that if we don't do full service, you could come on our club and still get a lot of values.
Awesome. Cool. John.
Yeah, thanks. Very, very valuable call. I think some of the things for me is assigning a value to some of the services that we just offer and throw in. Some of it is part of our onboarding and nesting process, and I think it's important to do, but nonetheless, it's still nice for them to see that there's value associated with each of these
Yep.
things. And then
that.
just in terms of the no discounting and instead offer added value or upgrades, whatever it is, I think that's a great approach.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, John.
Mhm.
Sherry and then Mark.
Thank you, first of all, for doing a custom ladder for me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
I like what you said in the beginning. You started talking about if the price is too high, break it down into something that's easier to digest. Like here, I can create a taste for you, and then you can determine whether or not you want to go on to the bigger package. How many times has that, I mean, how many times do they just take what you create in the smaller mood board or whatever and just go and don't ever come back? And how many times do they actually buy the bigger package?
You know what? I would say even more than either one of those is like after we pitch it that way, then they
Yeah.
just say, well, screw it, let's just do the whole thing. Like,
Okay.
you know,
Sounds
honestly,
good.
like it's like we can build you like then they're like and then that's what I love about a really good done for you offer, right? It's like,
Yeah.
you know, I think that's a good sales tactic too. It's like, well, you can do this now today and we can get started, or we can do this 3 months from now when you come back, right? Like
Yeah.
how much is the 3 months worth it to you? Like waiting
Right.
for 90 days, like is a
Well,
really good way to put it back on them. It's like, you're
sure.
going to come back here and do this either with me or with somebody else, but you're just delaying what you're inevitably going to do. You know?
Right. Well, and you're hoping that they're the ideal client at that point, and they can afford the package
Yeah.
or they're not just looking or shopping around trying to find the cheapest.
Yeah.
That's not,
I'm really big fan of like earning the paycheck every month, right? So my one-on-one coaching it's $1,500 a month. And I usually say, most people go 9 to 12 months. I've had some that are on 2 years straight,
Mhm.
but you can cancel at any time. There's no
Mhm.
contract, right? So like I can cancel at any point and you're not out anything. But so that means I got to earn it each month. But
Right.
then like I feel like that puts the like it motivates me to make sure it's worth it.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Cool. Mark,
Awesome.
most useful takeaway. Then we'll wrap up.
Most useful takeaway to me is I'm excited to see that you are somebody that also believes in leveraging people worldwide and
Hmm.
their skills and what they do to empower small businesses, to teach people how to do that. Because I'm trying to put myself in that position, because being in Latin America right now, but I also used to have a VA from the Philippines. She was incredible. And so those things have been successful to me. So I am interested to know kind of your processes and how you help people with that. The rest of it, I feel really happy with my ladder,
Nice.
having it built ahead of time. I think I'm less than 100 hours away from like having all of the exact pieces and products where they need to be. And so I knew it when I saw it with the reach out where like you're repeating basically my LinkedIn profile back to me, but I'm like, hey, cool. I like the way John's doing it. I want to see what this is all about because
Yeah.
I don't know that I necessarily want to run these types of things like you're doing, but I appreciate learning from people like you.
Sure.
And I think your energy is different from mine, but people are asking me for this. And so that's where like
Cool.
the encouragement of how to put these into just a part of the system. I build systems for other people. So
Yeah.
it's kind of where I'm
Well,
at.
that's the bad. I mean, not to make a sales pitch for coaching, but like the beauty of coaching, right, is that you get to take it with you forever. So with the business you're running today, the business you run 10 years from now, or the clients that you serve, right? And so I think that's the cool part. But yeah, book a call if you want. We can talk global staffing. Obviously, John on the call too does this as well. I built 2 7-figure agencies that were very people intensive. One was 15 employees, one was 20 employees. And now the goal is to do it with like 2 people. And I just think if I were building Lemonly today in 2025, it would look very different, right? Um, so we got Joanne, she's dropping links. We got Dunya, she's on day 2. Like it's awesome. So, all right, I wouldn't be doing a good coach if I didn't have my thing at the end, of course. So here it is. Let me show you. I'm really excited about this. This is new to my product ladder because I've done group coaching in like a 10-week sprint program called No More Solo. And I've done one-on-one, and I've decided what I really want to build is just a place for people to hang out and get a push to do all the things they say they're going to do. Because I think in an AI world, we didn't even get to that today, the cost of knowledge is going to zero. And I think what people actually need is like a community and a push. And so I'm going to tell you about that. So if you're ready for a push, what is it? I should probably go to full screen so my dramatic action items look. So if you need momentum to reach the prize that you're chasing, and you need some accountability to do what you say you're going to do, you likely need a community to help hold you accountable, because that's why showing up for this call and doing what, getting everybody's most useful takeaway. And it doesn't hurt to have some rewards to motivate you to get your challenge and your goal each month. Then you might need what I'm launching on October 1st, which is called the push. And so what is it? It's a group community where we have a call every week, but it looks really different. So each month, the last Tuesday of every month, you'll commit to your next sprint. So like, what are you going to get done in October? You commit to that. We have a weekly accountability call. Once a month, we'll bring in my buddy Chris, who's going to do expert workshop on like systems and AI, because I don't operate from the you're going to lose your job because of AI bucket, but I operate from the you're missing out on an edge if you're not using AI is my standpoint. So like, why not? So we have a call like that every month, and then we do like a 30-day momentum tracker, and we'll have rewards and prizes. So it's the community push. It's not, yes, you'll learn a lot, but what I'm really selling here is the accountability and the push. And so Joanne will put the link into this, but it's launching October 1st. The first call will be September 30th, where people will be committing to like their monthly October sprint. So you can scan that QR code, or it's just right there in the chat. It's just a landing page. You're not buying anything, but you can get the email and learn about it. And I'm doing, and if you do fill out the form, I'll send you my little habit tracker. This isn't anything glorious. It's just a fancy Google sheet, but I think sometimes the simple option is the best option. And so this is just whatever you Typically, I teach this idea called daily non-negotiables. What are the 5 things you commit to every day? So you can kind of make your own version of that in this spreadsheet that I'll send to you. So that's the push. What I would recommend is just grab that link, join the wait list. First call is September 30th. And it'll say that in the email, but for anybody, and now I'm going to like contradict what I said to you guys earlier today, because when you build a community, it's sort of a chicken or egg thing. So currently it's a 2K annual membership is the push, but it's currently 25% off because I want people to make those first commitments. So for just over 125 bucks a month, you can have a coach for an entire year doing the exact same stuff that we did today, but with a group of people to get you that push, in addition to the AI, in addition to the guest workshop. So that's the push. I'm really excited about it. It's very different than anything else that I've launched. And so thanks for
Do
going
you
2
have
extra minutes.
How big is
What's
are you going to limit the size of the groups, John? Or
Yeah, I think it's going to be about 50 people
Okay.
is what I'm guessing is probably
Okay.
what we're going to settle in. So on a typical week, I'd imagine a call will be something like this, a dozen, 15, I don't know. We'll see. But then it's on a platform called Circle online. So there'll be spaces on Circle, and you can get all the calls get recorded and uploaded there. So if you can't make the time, you can still go back and learn from it. And the other thing I'm hoping will happen, I'm really targeting creative entrepreneurs. What that means to me isn't just someone like Mark or Sherry, but consultants, coaches, people who sell their knowledge to me are creative. And so I hope there will be a lot of cross pollination or maybe collaboration amongst people in the group as well. So
Great. Thank you.
that's the deal. Thanks for the time today. Hopefully you helped build out your ladder and learned a few things. Just hit me up if you have any questions. And it was nice to meet some new faces as well as see some old faces. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys online. Take care.
Care.
See everybody.
John, appreciate it. Good to
Guys.
meet everybody.
Cheers. All right, let's see. I'm going to stop that recording.